Good morning and welcome to Beyond Headlines of Freedom Square TV. We are reaching you from our studios in Enugu. Enugu, of course, is the southeast Nigeria and is known as the Coal City State. In a matter of days, precisely on Monday, the 22nd of September, schools across Enugu State will open their doors for the new academic calendar. The spotlight falls on the ambitious project in Enugu State, referred to as the Smart Green Schools. Enugu State launched the Smart Green Schools initiative as part of Governor Peter Mbah's education reform. These schools promise solar-powered classrooms, e-learning facilities, and environmentally sustainable architecture. The state has also approved massive recruitment of teachers to align with modern teaching standards. But in the background, parents still complain about levies, teacher shortages in remote areas, and the infrastructural decay in older schools. The pilot smart school, which was established in Owo, Kano East local government in 2024, is fully operational. These smart schools are scheduled to be fully operational in all the 260 wards starting from September the 22nd, 2025. So, as the new academic session begins, we need to ask whether the smart green schools are a symbolic flagship or a systematic fix, meaning are they ready to take off? No doubt, these schools have been described as a revolutionary step toward blending technology, sustainability, and modern pedagogy. But as with every bold ideas, questions abound. Are these schools equitably distributed? Are teachers ready to handle digital learning? What about rural pupils who still struggle with basics like chairs, chalk, and textbooks? So, to help us unravel and, of course, to answer some of these questions is a lady of substance, a permanent member of ENSUBEB, Enugu State Physical Education Commission. She is Dr. Aja. Her doctor is not the bracket doctor, her own is the Ph.D. Good morning and welcome to Beyond Headlines.
Thank you for having me and good morning.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. But Doc, let's start from the start. Let's start from the beginning. What many people are wanting to hear, what many people are wanting to hear, to learn. And they ask, the smart schools have been hailed as the future of learning in Enugu State. People are looking forward to Monday. But the question they ask, how many of these schools are actually ready to open their doors to students, to pupils, on Monday, the 22nd of September, 2025?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. On Monday, 22nd, we are resuming full academic activities and then over 100 schools. Okay, so about 100 schools now are being equipped. We had started equipping during holidays, so about 100 by Monday will be ready.
About 100?
About 100, yes.
In fact, if actually...
anyone that is not ready, it should be about 80% completion.
Yes, if actually 100 schools are ready, for me, that is quite a bold step.
About 100, yes.
Yes, that's a bold step. That is quite an impressive, even though people will argue that why would others be ready? But of course, in our environment, all fingers are not equal. So we're looking forward to having about 100 schools scattered in various wards of Enugu State. It could be more. It could be just said about.
About, yes.
It could be more, it could be less.
Yeah.
Okay. Critics know that people who criticize the smart school, they see it's an elite project. Elite is meant for the elite. It is fine on paper. But how would the average rural child have access to this school?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. I've had a lot of people say so many things, so many myths around the smart school, but I would like to clear it. It's not for the elites. The smart school is for every Enugu child. I think that's part of why His Excellency started from the rural area. Okay, the Owo Smart School, that is the pilot school. It wasn't built in the city. It's in the rural area, so it's for every Enugu child. In fact, they are more important to us because the people in the city, they've been assessing some of these schools, you know. But the children at the rural areas are the target first. In fact, it's intentional, starting from the rural area. So it's for every Enugu child, not for the elite at all.
For every Enugu child?
Yes.
Meaning children who are even in the remote village of Amole and parts of Ugbo will have the same access as children who are in urban areas in Enugu.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes, because if you listen to His Excellency speak, and even during his campaigns, you see that the campaign was not just telling you, I want to rule you. It's also about needs assessment. If you had listened to his development center campaign, he went, as much as he was telling us he wants to rule the state, he wants to give us this social contract, give me this mandate. If you listen to him, you hear that he's also asking, what is your challenge? And his intention at that, he's building the smart school because he has linked it to alleviating people, bringing people out of poverty, and he has also linking it to the strategy to attain the GDP, okay, the $40 billion, target for our GDP. So he's targeting educated child and a skilled child, okay, so that if you're coming out of the school, your skill will be industry ready. You'll be able to, one can admit you into the industry to serve. So we are looking at employing them, not just educating them and having them parrot teachers. We are also looking at having them skilled to fit into the industries. Okay. So it's for every child in Enugu.
For every child.
Yes.
Yes, still some parents are worried. They're worried about whether the schools will have adequate infrastructure, such as enough classrooms, libraries in particular, laboratories, to support quality education. I'm sure in your inspection of these smart schools, speak to whether they have enough classrooms, libraries, and every facility needed in a school.
In fact, this has been taken care of. You see, all you listed and more is what we'll have in our smart schools. 65 kVA solar system. It has 1 million liter water storage. There's a integrated science lab, ICT lab, mechatronics center, ICT center, mechatronics, robotics center, 3D printing center. Okay, it has the virtual reality for children, the center for that. There's it's an all-inclusive school system because even the disabled, there's ramp for them. Okay, there's we have the medical center, that is the sick bay for the children. Okay, so we have playground for the children. Every of these things you listed, we have them. If you get to smart school in Owo, you see we have all these things and even more.
If you leave Owo, for example, Owo was built as a standard.
Yes.
Do you think that every smart school has a playground?
Yeah, the standard is a pilot. Owo is a pilot. And let me tell you one thing about Owo. We will even improve from what we have in Owo because it is a pilot that we are scaling up from. Okay? So it is tested and is working. And you could see the difference from where we started and where we are right now.
Okay. So you believe that come Monday, the smart schools that are ready will have enough pupils start school there?
Yeah, the plan is to absorb the learners in the schools around the smart schools. That is the first catchment around the smart school. Then we can start taking in other children into the smart school.
Okay. Let me agree with you that the pupils and students are ready.
Yeah.
Are the teachers ready? Do we have enough teachers?
Yeah.
Are they also smart teachers? Because if you're not a smart teacher, you cannot teach a smart student.
Yes.
And you cannot teach in a smart school.
Yes.
And before now, people are not too sure what government and ER board may have done to prepare our teachers for digital transition.
In fact, thank you for that question. His Excellency is very strict on the fact that he does not want any teacher that is not well trained, okay, that does not go through the exams, through the smart school training to be in the smart school. So every teacher you see in that smart school is ready. I will call them smart teachers because they are trained, they are technology savvy. Okay, so they are computer savvy, they know all these things, they understand it, they apply it. Because you can't even, the truth is that you can't even teach in a smart school if you're not savvy, computer savvy, you're not knowledgeable in technology. Because that's what you apply. Our interactive smart board, you cannot use it if you don't understand how to use it. So the teachers there are ready. So we keep recruiting and then training teachers, okay, for the smart school. We have backlog, we have teachers in the waiting, okay? Right now, we are deploying teachers to those smart schools as we speak.
Okay. Yeah. Something it is a lot easier said than done. Monday is there. You know, as journalists and as pressmen, we will walk around, visit the schools, see their challenges. Yeah. This is not longer the way you're telling me now, right here in the studio. By Monday, our cameras will be everywhere to see how they're starting. But there's something else, teacher motivation. Let's be frank. When we were in primary school, most of us wanted to be teachers. But in the village then, the big man there was the teacher, the headmaster, the teacher, you know. So we look forward to becoming that. But today, teacher motivation is weak. Delayed salaries, lack of incentives, poor career development pathways. How do a board and government intend to ensure that teachers in smart green schools are motivated? Because once they're not motivated, you know, if you go to a public school now, you see teachers selling granola. In fact, they're not really selling Ashebi, the school that teaches. So, what are the motivations? What are the incentives that are these smart teachers, as we call them, that will make them stay without trying to go do one small body?
Okay, so so all that has stopped. Okay, in fact, that's why we had that with smart school as a model. Okay, we have quarters for teachers. Okay, we have furnished apartments for teachers. That has never been done. We've not had that before in Enugu or even anywhere in Nigeria. That we used to have when you say those days.
I don't know when I tell you parties.
Remember in the BTC we have teachers quarters. I remember. Yes. So that's what is bringing back now. We have our teachers quarters now. When you have roof over your head, I mean, it's enough incentive, and they furnished apartments. Okay. So and then we have award for the teachers, and then we encourage the teachers. For instance, 2 of our teachers from smart schools are going to the US for further training. Okay, so when you do well, we see the commitment, we encourage you. So there's incentive for the teachers.
Okay, incentive for the teachers, but again, you know, I'm on the streets.
Yes.
And we've learned that some teachers said they're being transferred arbitrarily. Some teachers who are in urban areas are thinking that they're being sent to rural areas. And Amaraharu, you know, so is it true that your board is transferring teachers, maybe from Enugu to Anyeri, for example? Someone who has been teaching all along without adequate preparation where you stay in Anyeri?
No, it's not. That's not true. No such transfer. the teachers that are teaching in our smart schools applied to teach in the smart school.
Okay.
So we are
That particular smart school or just any smart school?
No, what happens is that we get the smart schools ready, we post our teachers, and then there's provision for accommodation.
Okay. That's a good word, Dr. Wakigaja. We'll take a short break. When we come back, actually, we'll be looking at other issues, and that has to do with equity and access.
Okay.
So for those of you who are watching us, don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
Looking for comfort, luxury, and style? Welcome home to House 32 Apartments. At House 32, you're not just booking a room, you're stepping into executive elegance. We have a 2-bedroom luxury suite, complimentary breakfast, continental and African dishes, laundry, handled, spa, 24/7, security, covered, free Wi-Fi, of course. So whether you're planning a business trip or a peaceful getaway, House 32 Apartment is your home away from home. We are located at number 32 Ogidi Street, Enugu. Call now to book or email house32enugustate@gmail.com. House 32 Apartment. Live different, stay better.
Welcome back, and you are still watching Beyond the Headlines. We're still reaching you from our studios in Enugu. Of course, again, Enugu is in southeast Nigeria, probably known as the Cold City. And my guest is still Dr. Mrs. Nwakaego M. Keep saying her doctor is not a medical doctor, is a Ph.D. Okay, that's the view of the light now mood. Doc, well, there's this issue of hidden fees. You know, in this country, no matter how government try to put policies, teachers have a way of circumventing it by what we call hidden fees. You say school is free. You say this is free, but sometimes that's not homework. Who will take 10 naira for homework? I still know, in fact, all manner of fees, they call hidden fees. Are we going to see hidden fees in these smart schools?
Okay.
And if it happens, what will be the consequence?
There's no space for that. There's not going to be any hidden fee because when we said green smart school, it means we're going to say environmental friendly. The wastes in those communities, the children use it for projects. So you don't expect any child to buy anything in terms of projects and assignments, where you can say the teacher will extract from the parents through the children, okay? So we expect that if you go to some of the ones we have ready, you see they use the waste products, empty can, and to produce.
Okay.
Okay, so there's nothing like extortion, and there's no hidden fee because everything is free. It's free education for basic schools.
We've always heard about free basic education, free that. But again, parents will still complain. So, well, if you said there will be hidden fees, maybe in a month or 2 or 3 months, maybe we'll bring it back to this studio to find whether there's any hidden fee anywhere.
We monitor our teachers, yes.
You monitor them?
Yes, and we have feedbacks from the schools. Yes.
Okay.
And from our parents, that's why we have the SBMC.
Okay.
School-based management committee.
You know that if you're a farmer, you need their cutlass, you need their hoe, you need their digger. In schools, you need their books. Now we are talking about smart. So where are the children going to get the books they're going to use in smart schools?
E-learning, you know they have these things in the library there.
Okay.
We have the e-library for them there. So they also have books, but we have e-library where we have most of those books, all the books they need, all the subject areas is already there in they are giving tablets.
You know there's a problem.
What's the problem?
The federal government of Nigeria has just reversed
Yes,
this, what they call the revised curriculum
yes, but we're ahead.
ahead of.
We're ahead. We had all those things.
No, I'm a publisher. We will not publish based on the new curriculum. Where did you pick it from?
Not new curriculum, based on the subject areas that
Yes,
we are
now.
meant to teach. So they have it already in smart school, the subject areas. You're talking about if they will have access to the books, right? I said it's already articulated in it's already in the e-library.
No, you have to go back to, because they just released
The new one.
The new one. And
It's
they-
a new
they-
policy we need to apply.
Yes,
It's a new
and
policy.
so whatever you have put into that e-tablet,
We'll have to look at it.
yes, you have to
review.
look. You have to review it, because why else saying? Where are you going to get the books from? Because they're not written. Like now, history is compulsory.
French.
I think, okay.
French too.
Okay, so before that, most people are not reading history, but now history is compulsory from primary school.
Funny enough, we have history in smart schools.
It depends
That's
on.
why I said we are ahead. You can read out what we have in our smart schools, all the subject areas. We had all these things articulated. We are ahead of, in fact, it looks as if they are following the footsteps. We are ahead of all this pronouncement and all these new policies. There's history in smart schools. We have our teachers that are teaching history. Are you surprised? Are you shocked?
No, let's
I
fight.
can read it at the lower basic.
Where do you get history teachers?
I'm telling you, we have history teachers.
Not social studies, so.
We have history teachers. We have
Where did they
you see,
graduate from?
Let me tell you, you're looking at our regular teachers. No. You see what His Excellency did? He threw it up with the application for teachers to smart school, not just our regular teachers. If you're a regular teacher and you want to apply, you have the expertise, you have what it takes, you're training your subject area. We just brought out the subject area, we need teachers, and we have people apply. We have even people that are not in our system, that are in private schools. They all applied, and we took from the best, we employed the best, that best we are recruited and onboarded. Okay, so I have had a lot of people call to ask questions. My ward passed, my daughter passed, some stakeholders, and I will explain to them. It's not as if they passed and they are not admitted to teach in smart school. What we did, His Excellency said he wanted the best, and that's what we did. We picked the best. So if you have, and it's in different subject areas, so we have history, people that are majoring in history that applied. Because I know you are looking at our regular school, we have stopped history. But it's there in smart
It's not
school.
compulsory.
Yes, it is now complete. It was. We had it in smart school before the federal government pronouncement.
Okay.
So we are ahead,
This is
ahead
very
of
interesting.
yes,
Doc.
we are ahead of it.
Yeah.
You can-
You're trying to convince me.
So you can go and check. So you can go and check. So what we do is this, what we did, and we are still doing, is in any subject area, we have teachers apply, okay? History, math, English, all those subjects. So what we do, we take the best, we'll cut off from the best. So if you can score 70, and you see your result that is 70, and the question will be, I had 70 in the score. Why am I not recruited? Why? No, the issue is that in that your subject area, how many scored 80?
Yes.
Okay, that was how we picked the best, the very best, and they went on training. Okay, after the recruitment, before the onboarding.
Okay, very, very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, you know that technology actually without purpose is just like gadgetry. When you say I do technology, e-learning, and so the curriculum, how is it being adapted by students so that they're not just computer literate and become what I said, people who are not knowledgeable. Because the truth is, when you allow these guys to use this tablet they're talking about, they now just don't look elsewhere. And they are very important subject matters. When I was in school, I read a Student's Companion. I'm sure you must have seen Student's Companion. Okay? Common mistakes in English. Common errors in English. They are not curriculum based, so they won't be in that tablet. But these are the kind of books that will make a child be different from the rest of the children. Who are these books? Are they in the tablet or in the e-learning? What of novels? Of course, you know if you're a child and they're not reading novels, hey guy, you might pass mathematics, pass English, but if they ask you one or two questions outside those areas, you become an educated illiterate. So how are we going to ensure that the smart schools will ensure that
Knowledge base.
they're knowledge based, not just smart guys?
Okay, not just
But this smart.
Yes.
They can be smart without being knowledgeable.
Yes. Okay, that's a very good question. You see, one beautiful thing His Excellency has done, okay, Governor Peter Ndubisimba, is that he ensured in Nigeria, we are focused on 9-year basic, okay, where we have the lower basic, the middle basic, and the higher, or the upper basic. Do you know that in Enugu State, we have, it's 12. How do I say so? It's 12 in Enugu State, 12 basic.
Tell me.
Because in every smart school, we have our early child development care education, ECCDE. That is what you call the nursery school. In every smart school. And research has shown that any child that passes through that nursery school come out very excellent in terms of literacy and numeracy, because that is where the foundation is. And that's where we teach civic habits, we teach social habits. Okay? So, to ensure that these children are not just smart,
yes,
they are knowledgeable, we ensure that these children go through that from the nursery. That's where we teach the alphabet, the sounds, the phonics. Okay, so we have it in our smart school. So they are not just smart. We are also monitoring the teachers to see they are applying some of those, and we have our Readers Club. You asked about reading. We have our Readers Club in our schools. That's one of the first things we established when we assumed office as board members. I know I brought that
So they're going to be hybrid between the smart board, the e-tablet, and the physical book.
Yeah, the physical book. Why the stress on the hard copy? The interest is for the child to read and understand and apply. Whether it's on the hard copy or on the tablet, the target is for the child to understand, to read and understand.
Do you realize
Yes.
that the novels are not just a one novel? There is school they read more than 20 novels.
Yeah, it's in the system.
Already in the system.
Yes.
We took the novels.
Yeah, what we do, anyone who wants, will digitize, okay, some of those novels. So we are interested in the literacy and the numeracy.
Okay, I'll tell you something that will shock you. You see children just sitting by the bus stop holding books. They don't hold tablets.
That's, you see,
They don't hold tablets.
You see the change.
They hold novels.
Yeah, they hold novels. Damn.
No, they still do it now. Go to travel.
You
go to
can
London,
combine. We can combine those. It's not as if we don't have books.
Now we are coming.
It's not as if we don't have books.
Yes.
But we also have those things so that if you're not picking it up in the book, the emphasis should not be on the book. If you're not picking up to read it from the book, you can also have it in your tablet, which we have given to the children. Okay. So at any point in time, you can access from anywhere.
Sweden
Yes.
was the first country in the world to do an all-tablet education.
But we're not doing an all-tablet education.
I'm coming.
Yes.
They emphasize on tablets, e-learning. Today they have scrapped it totally, reinvesting on hard copies after several years of trying. So, whatever you are doing, the time is still early. I want to advise that your board and the ministry will do a proper 50-50 hybrid. Hybrid is technology. Hybrid is regular books. Because the country that started it all are now abandoning it. Now, children become addicted to gadgets. So, even that's it, give to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Yeah.
And to God.
Yeah, in that addiction. Okay, so I said something about XBMC, School-Based Management Committee. That is the avenue we engage our parents on the children. You see, I don't know whether you have that as a question about sustainability. Okay, I don't know if you have that, but why I'm saying this is that there's an educator research team that was trained, okay, for the smart school. So through that avenue, we get a feedback from the parents. We engage the parents from time to time. So we talked about regimentation. While you're talking about, you asked of addiction.
Yes.
So it's even a way of bringing up a child properly. You regiment the child. There's time for this, there's time for that. So the question of addiction won't arise if your child is well regimented.
Well, I like that. If.
Yes.
And you know, if is a two-letter.
Tentative.
It's a two-letter word for fertility.
Yeah, so we enforce that. We enforce that. Let me tell you that if life is not just about, the education of a child stands on a tripod. The child, the school, and the home. There's one the school will do, there's one the home will do, and there's one the child will do. So if we have it standing, you can see the child that will come out educated and skilled. So that engagement with the parents, that's where we talk about regimenting their children. We'll tell them the reason they should regiment their children so that we'll have a balanced upbringing.
Okay, you took the words almost from my mouth a couple of minutes ago. Okay. Monitoring and evaluation and sustainability.
Yes.
It's very, very key because, so what are the metrics? What are being done? What are the measures for sustainability of these smart schools? 1 year after, 2 years after, 3 years after, 5 years. It's a good project, but how are we sure it will be properly sustained via monitoring and evaluation? Because even in the construction, you see what happened. Not that those things cannot happen, but you see 1 or 2 collapsing. Okay? So we hope none will collapse as those are moved in now. But sustainability.
You see, I'll be very honest with you. You see, I keep on saying this. And when I say they feel, she's campaigning or something, no. It's something I say, it's a perica, it's something you can see. His Excellency's application of this leadership is not just for selfish end. It's not just for himself. It's not just for the now. It's for the future. When you talk about sustainability, you see the results of what he's doing now is something you see in future. It's not somebody that come out and give you outright or call you and give you bags of money. And this is what we talk about. So when he's building a school, and you know what it takes over time, you know what schools does. You have educated people, you have skilled people from the smart school, what he's doing now. So the sustainability plan we have on ground is the Center for Experiential Learning. His Excellency is at Belt if you go to College of Education Technical, you see it there. Okay, that center will be taking care of teachers, mandatory professional training for teachers. Okay, that is for the sustainability because we keep training the teachers and putting them into the smart school. And for the sustainability, he has trained some educator researchers. Okay, from time to time, we will now look at the impact, make improvements based on the gap we are going to see from the results of the research. So we've been training the SPA to the governor on experiential learning, Dr. Mara Huber, from Buffalo State University. He came with some people with some professionals with the expertise on the experiential learning to train some people on as educator researchers. So they are the ones, they went into the communities, they spoke to the community members, they spoke to the teachers, they engaged the teachers, they engaged the children, and they came out with some results that will apply for the scaling up of these smart schools. So from time to time, they will go into the communities, they are going to be researching and looking at gaps and where to improve on. So there is plan for sustainability.
Even after
a robust one for that.
Even after the government must have left.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That Center for Experiential Learning is there. It's not as if they brought in some people and trained them to continue with the teachers' training. He built an institution for that. So there's plan for sustainability.
Okay, against environmental sustainability is another in terms of power, water. You know, you can't maintain a green environment where you don't have water. And then, of course, power. So what are the plans in ensuring that,
you see,
especially the schools in very remote areas, have access to water and have access to power?
He's ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
He's so knowledgeable. I'm telling you, His Excellency is ahead of time. You see, all this you named, I told you have 65 kVA solar system in every smart school. There's 1 million liters water storage in every smart school, talking about water. Okay? So we have all these things articulated. They are there in the smart school already. So we're not expecting them to go to the stream in the communities to fetch water. There's plan for war already in every
I hope I
school.
won't catch any charge.
No, there's nothing like that.
Our camera will catch. Our camera will catch them all.
There's nothing like that. And then we have
I will be accountable.
You didn't talk about our farm. We have our smart farm in our smart school.
Tell us about
that is the green.
Tell us about
That's the green we are talking about. There's a farm, a smart farm. There's a greenhouse. So the farm with the children are taught to farm. In that farm, that farmland we have there in the school, because every smart school have a farmland. We have farm provision for that. So the children, they feed the children from the produce of that farm. So we have
they
our
will
school
feed them
meal.
because now the farm is not working.
No, they are
they will feed them when they start.
No, they are feeding them already. From the farm. If you go to, now I'm telling you, this is
if
something
you go to the one in
Amol, there's a farm by the side.
That will start when the school starts now.
Of course, when the school starts, is a meal every day for a child. Okay. You see, when you go there now, we have picture of the children when they started the school there, the pilots, and then when you see them, you think they are children that live at Lekki, Ikoyi, or GRA in Enugu here.
Or has become a Lekki of some sort now.
Exactly.
Our town is now a Lekki of some sort.
And that is what we want to have in every political ward, in every community in Enugu State.
Okay. Security and insecurity.
Yes.
You know, Doc, some schools are built in far rural areas.
Yes.
Of course, with the control and command center in Enugu, which is a very, very laudable thing the governor has done. We can do a lot of monitoring. But beyond that, when these schools become operational from Monday, some are located in, when you say ward, you go to places like Uzowani, remote places in the Zeaga and Dogo. And of course, this issue of security or insecurity will come up. How do we ensure the safety of kids in these smart schools?
Okay, fine. We talked about access to education, access to school. Okay, having those schools there is giving the people there access. Remember before now, I was education sector of a local government before now. So I was in the local education authority. So I know we have our migrant farmer schools. Because the federal government, they realize that when you leave those children to themselves, during farm season, their parents move them. So they lose academic instructional hours when they leave schools to go to farm settlements with their parents. So because of that, they established migrant farmer schools. We have it in some areas, even fishery in the south, but in the south, it is migrant farmers. Yeah. So this is what we have before now. And if you build the smart schools in just those areas you're expecting, you will shortchange the other children, okay? They will be alienated from what we are doing. So there are these schools you see that are located in those places is to give every child in Enugu State access to education. So the security matter you talked about, I know I'm coming there, I know that's what you're waiting for. I want to tell you the reason for those schools, because some people are asking, why are you locating schools there? Before we had migrant farmer schools, so it's when we have access, children to have access in those remote areas, that's number one. Number two, the security. Number one is that, security matter is not what you discussed out there, but there are measures the government has put in place for that, for our smart schools. So there's synergy between the local government, the Ministry of Education, the ENSUBEB, the traditional rulers, and the PG for the security of those smart schools. Okay, so it's not something, and I was put down. No, we can't say all. We can't say about we have. Remember, the schools will be fenced. Okay, yes. And then I think there's a plan in fact, we have a robust plan for it. Okay,
we're actually coming to the end of this conversation, but it cannot be discussed without talking about your board.
Okay.
The functions of your board, how it relates to the smart school, and all that. And finally, after you talked about ENSUBEB, you as a person, Nwakaego M, Ph.D, as a permanent member of the board, what legacy do you personally want to leave behind in the Enugu's educational system, or your board as a whole, and how it relates to what we're doing?
Okay, thank you very much. The brief of the board, SUBEB, which is a State Basic Education Board. When we have in Enugu State Basic Education Board. Okay, our mother, we have ENSUBEB in the federal, and then ENSUBEB in the states. So the ENSUBEB brief is number one, promoting of teaching and learning in our basic education, okay, in the state. Now, number two, we are to recruit teachers. ENSUBEB recruits teachers. We train teachers. We're in charge of professional development of teachers, mandatory professional development of teachers. We're also in charge of transfers of teachers. We're also in charge of retirement, promotion of teachers. Okay, so we're in charge of all this for our teachers, monitoring of projects. Okay, when I mean project, I mean the schools we are building. We monitor, M and E for that. So these are the responsibilities of ENSUBEB.
Okay.
That is ENSUBEB.
Now, my final question is...
So the board members meet. They should meet at least 4 times in a year. There should be board meeting, because we are also in charge of disciplining teachers. Have you seen it? Recruitment, transfer, promotion, discipline of teachers, monitoring of teaching and learning, and promoting it. Okay.
Okay, finally, a very personal question, and that is, as a permanent member of the board, what legacy or legacies do you personally want to leave behind in any education system? What is it? The way they say, oh, a Dr. Nwakaego Aja passed through this. Is it a permanent record you want to keep outside even your normal official duties? That's something that is close to your heart.
Yes.
That if allowed, this is something you want to leave behind.
Yes. So I want to see every system that will help a child to come out as an educated and a skilled child in place. And what am I trying to talk about? We have guidance and counseling section that we need to activate in our schools. And I'm working tirelessly to see that we have it running, because it's going to help our children, because there are things AI will not replace. Emotions.
Now you come.
Okay? AI cannot replace that. When you talk about guiding a child, the psychology of a child's learning, okay? So the guidance and counseling, I need them recruited, trained, and have in schools, place them in schools. We are going to guide the children, not just about subject area, about their emotional aspect of learning and being in school, okay? So I want to see a situation where a helpline, which I think I introduced that to the board, helpline for the children, where we monitor the result, we look at the results of the children after each exams, and then we look at the trend, because you can't just say a child is not good or good by one particular result. You have to look at the trend and see this child is at the verge of dropping out of school. When we set up that team, we have the team already, but I need it to work the way I desire, in terms of sitting down to look at those results of the children, pick out those children that are at the verge of dropping out, follow up that child, because by establishing the guidance and counseling unit, training them, we'll now have the desk officers in each local government that we can call. I already have a template for that already, where you put the result of the child, the school, the local government, the teachers, the name of the pupil, the phone number of the teacher, and the phone number of the parent. As a template I have already for that. So that when you impute all these things, you look at the result of the children, you can now pick out the child that is not. I've actually done that, and I helped a child in Ikulu Primary School in Enugu here, and the child in fact, I made a call to somebody at Nsukka. She was surprised when she picked the call. She was like, I introduced myself. He said 419. She turned off the phone. Okay, because
you wasn't expecting that.
Yes, wasn't expecting it, because the phone number of the teacher is in the template. So when I gave out those templates to teachers, they sent in the results. So I was checking through the results while I was trying to train the people working with me in that particular project. We looked at it. And when I picked and called the teacher was like, when I introduced myself, PM3. ENSUBEB cannot be calling me. Dr. Ego cannot call me. She said 419 and switched off the phone. So what I did was I had to call the education secretary of that local government that called the head teacher to call this. So I gave them time. When the calls went through, I called and she picked. Good afternoon, ma. I said, no, calm down. I'm asking about this particular child. What is the problem with the child? So what my intention is, when I see some of those, when we see my team, when you see a child like that, you pick the child, the phone number of the teacher, you give to the desk officer in the local government. Okay? The desk officer will reach the school and then they will invite the parents of that child to know why the child. That's why I said we must not just about, like you said, the smart school, the smart technology, and we must also articulate and ensure that the tripod is balanced, that the parents are, in fact, we have been doing that. There's been robust engagement. There's been an engagement of the parents on some of these things, that the parents are involved in academics of their children. So we invite the parents of the child, okay, and then find out the problem of the child. It could be from the teacher, it could be from the child, it could be from the home. Until you go through the investigation and then you speak to the child privately without hurting the child, because there's a way they will come to the school with the parents, and the child will be even the children, other children will taunt the child. So that's why the training has to be there. So this is some of the things I want to say, so that we can help some of these children, because when they start failing and they start losing interest, they become recalcitrant and they drop out of schools, and that's why you have this terror in the community. This is also solving security problem. Because when they drop out of the school, they become recalcitrant and they go following, before you know it, you see the person riding Okada. Once the leg can touch the pedal, before you know it, the child is smoking, is in all kinds of vice. This is where you start breeding, bad eggs in the communities. So when we have all our children in school, we have all the children that are of school age in school, and then we're able to monitor their growth through this counseling that AI cannot replace, okay? Through this engagement, we need our psychologists, we need our social workers, we need our counselors in each of our schools that will follow up on children's academic performance, on children's social, because we are looking at character count, okay? We are looking at some of those things, and we'll be able to bring these children and beat them in line. Okay, so this is one of the things I want to see. Another thing I want to see extracurriculum activities in our schools, which we have, but part of which is we need, because of what is happening in our society, we need our peace club. We need it established in our schools. We need to teach the children tolerance. We need to teach them how to live with people. We need to teach them mediation and negotiation skills so that they can solve problems among themselves as they grow. Because whether you like it or not, some of the problems that they breed in school, some of the problems that start in school, escalates to the communities, even to homes. So if we teach them tolerance, even in school, if we teach, I know it's in civic education, but a club that will handle this in school.
It's scholarly in civic education.
Yes.
In clubs, it's a scale.
Yes, so that they can practice some of those things, so that we can have some of our teachers, that sponsor teachers, that can be able to propagate some of those things in our schools. We'll have them trained in mediation and negotiation. Okay, it won't cost the government anything much, though. This is something that will help at the long run. You see that these things we are going to establish will help and balance education system in our state. It's not just about learning. There are other things that
character formation
that I am interested in having in place in our schools. Honestly, because I know it will go a long way.
Okay.
Reading club as well.
Yes.
These two things. You see, Peace Club, Readers Club, we have other clubs in there. So these are the things we need to, and don't forget, I talked about this guidance and counseling. We need to build, not just establishing it, you build capacity of the sponsor teachers. It's very, very key, okay, that will be able to man these things and guide these children through all this. It's not just, let's not just put our interest only in the learning and teaching, emotional aspect of their lives.
This is a very good point, Dr. Nwakaego, to bring this conversation to an end. And but before you do that, I just want to talk to those who are watching us, to tell them that we would like to hear from them and ask them what do they think about the smart green schools in Enugu, Will it change the future of education in Enugu State? Or should government first fix existing schools? What your thoughts? What your ideas? Share with us on our comment section, Facebook, YouTube, at Freedom Square TV. And so, Nwakaego, thank you very much. It's been a very, very entertaining time with you. You know, you spoke from the heart. You spoke from experience and you spoke from knowledge. And that's what we call all-rounded education. Sometimes we produce guys, children who are smart but not knowledgeable. You showed an example of a smart and knowledgeable lady.
Viewers, let's not truncate this process. Get your PVC, get your voter's card. We'll have the next 4 years. After this, we'll still have another 4 years to see this process through. If you're really interested in the progress of Enugu, if you're happy with what is happening, and I know you're very happy about it, let's not truncate this process. Let's see it through. Get your voter's card and be ready to put in all you have to ensure that this process is not truncated. And I want to use this opportunity to welcome all our children and teachers back to school. We are ready to work with you and to teach you, our beautiful children. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for being part of this. Indeed, education is the bedrock of development. But it takes more than smart buildings to raise a smart child. And you've just spoken to that. Not just about that. So to our audience, remember, you can watch this conversation on YouTube at Freedom Square TV.